Today we're taking a look at the Battlbox Mission 82, the Pro Plus box. Alright everybody, welcome back. So today I want to show you the Battlbox Mission 82. This is kind of a neat box, actually has some useful gear in it. Again, I kind of caution people, if you're brand new to prepping, this isn't the way to start your preps out. Will you get some cool stuff in these? Absolutely. You'll get some stuff that's useful to you. But, if you're starting out prepping, I want you to get food and water first. This is more for fun. And I think people lose sight of that. This is a fun box that comes once a month. And, oh, look, there's useful stuff. Or, I really wouldn't use that. Maybe I'll sell it to a friend or give it away or whatever. Or save it for a Christmas present. Whatever. That's the kind of deal with this. So if you don't have disposable income at the moment and you're just getting started, I want people to understand that this is more for fun and not always a serious survival item. Sometimes there's some good gear in there, don't get me wrong. And this one has some neat stuff that I actually would use. But I want people to prep first. That's just my way of telling you that. I love these things. I have a lot of fun with them. And I've used a lot of the gear in it. It's actually pretty good gear. But make sure you got your preps done first. Especially now with things getting ugly and wild in the world. Alright, so the link to get one will be down below. You can get a 15% off the subscription if you use my discount, Iridium24. It's 24, not 242 on this one. They probably couldn't fit the last digit on there or whatever for my discount code. But you will save 15% with my discount code, Iridium24. So, let's tear into the box and see what's in it. Alright, to start off, you're going to get your mission brief. This will tell you everything that's in all of the boxes, from the beginner box to the Pro Plus. So we'll go right there, Pro Plus box, Basic box, and Pro box. All right, so that's your guide there. The first thing we're going to take a look at is the MyMedic Gauze mod. Okay, now MyMedic makes kits. They make little first aid kits. And this is a mod, another thing to add to it. You can see what's in there. You're going to get 3 2x2 gauze pads, 2 4x4 gauze pads, 2 non-adherent gauze pads, 2 non-adherent 3 inches by 4 inches non-adherent gauze pads, and 1 2-inch conforming gauze roll, and 1 3-inch conforming gauze roll. So the idea of this is to put this in your kit. This is not a complete first aid kit, of course. The idea of it is to put it in your kit. They give this a $4.95 value. Pretty cool. Handy. Again, something that I would use in a survival situation and would stuff maybe in a first aid kit. Probably this is going to go in my car kit because I'm kind of lacking gauze in that. So I'm going to probably stick it in my car kit. So that's the first item. All right, next up we have, let's get this guy out here. All right, the MyMedic Super Skin Assorted Bandage 12-pack, another $4.95 value. Now, I've actually used these. I forget where I got them from, if somebody sent them to me for evaluation or whatever. These things are awesome. Now, they're not only kind of stretchy, and they'll conform to things very well, but the cool part about them is they also seem to be a lot more waterproof. So they will really stick on. And you get a bunch of different types here. A bunch of different types of sizes. They are latex free. All of them have a soothing aloe pad on them. So when you put it over a cut, it's going to soothe the cut as well as heal the cut. So that's kind of neat too. They're very, very stretchy. That's what I like about them. They, like if you get a cut in a weird place, like inside here, they'll stretch over that way and stretch over that way and cover the wound. So they are very handy. And again, this is something I would add to a kit. Again, not a complete kit, of course. I would add that to a kit. They give this about a $4.95 value. All right, let's move on to the next item. The next one I got to find in here because it's kind of buried in here. I think it's underneath. Let me see. There we go. MyMedic Survival Guide. Okay. Now this thing covers everything from first aid basics, CPR, bleeding, burns, survival skills, like knots, shelter building, finding and getting found in the woods. There's lots of cool stuff in here. And I think what I'm going to do is kind of go through this myself. This is something I need to work on, is my knots. I am not good with knots. Go through this and kind of maybe see if we can find some projects, especially like shelter building and stuff like that for the channel. But this is kind of neat. And it's got some actual useful information in it. All sorts of things to deal with different snake identification, which I can use out here because there are a lot of different types of snakes out here. Shelter building, travel markers. So it's kind of a neat little guide. That, I believe, let me find it up here. That is a $10 value for that one. All right, next up, is your Squirrel Nut Butter. That's kind of an odd name. It's an anti-chafe salve. If you've ever had chafing on your legs or on your feet or whatever, this stuff is awesome. I've used a similar product. I haven't used this particular one. And it does work very, very well. The back of my heels always get chafed up, no matter what shoe I'm wearing. You know, yesterday we did the boots, and I told you I wear cheap sneakers most of the time. But I'll tell you, if I do a lot of walking, if I haven't walked in a while, you know, like when I lived in a city, I did a lot of walking, and I never got, you know, back of my feet all torn up. But when I do it now, because I don't walk as much, they'll get a little sore for a few days. They'll be a little chafed, or, you know, anything. And this is good for anywhere, under your arms, anywhere. So, very good stuff. I believe the value on that one is $16.95. All right, next up, I got to dig in the box, so I'll bring you right back, and I'll show you what that is. All right, so last up here in the basic box is this Ultimate Self-Sufficiency Manual, $22.50 value. Nice kind. It's sort of a hardcover book. I can't really tell you what kind of cover that is. But this thing is really cool. I read through some of this last night. Lots of information on here. Dealing with pets, digging roots, all this stuff. How to do gardening, feeding your chickens, how to butcher your chickens, how to hold water. One of the reasons I love books, and I've done videos on survival libraries in the past, is because we all rely on Google or the internet or whatever to look stuff up. If I want to find out how to butcher a chicken in sub-zero weather in some strange country, you know, I can look it up on the internet and find it. And I'm sure somebody's done a video in it. And if I'm lucky, they've even put closed captions on it so they can translate it. So having a book, having books in general around after an emergency is very, very important. I believe a while back I did a video a couple years ago on my survival binders. And basically what they are is when I run across an article that I think is very well written and very handy or pertinent to something I'd need after a disaster, I print it out and I put it in the survival binder, in a 3-ring binder. I have a 3-ring hole punch and I just stick it in there. So having books is very, very important after a collapse or a disaster or whatever, when there's no internet to go to. It might be down, might be gone, whatever. We saw this recent situation in Kazakhstan where they just took the internet down. You know, oh, sorry, you guys are protesting, we're pulling the internet. So remember that the internet is a finite resource and it can go away at any moment. And having hardcover books, having paperbacks, whatever, having information, just like with this other little book, very, very important. So that's going in my survival library after I go through this a little bit more. And this one too. We're going to see if we can come up with some neat projects for the channel in the First Aid and Survival Guide. And that one, like I said, $22.50 value. All right, let's move on to what is in the advanced box. And I'm going to move this back a little bit and show you what's in there. So first up, we have the ReadyWise American Red Cross 72-hour emergency food kit. Value on this is $43.99. That is actually a pretty accurate value. I've seen the 72-hour kits in Walmart, the ones that come in that little rubber bag, for in the $50 range. So that's actually not a bad price. I don't really think they overestimated that one. Inside this, you're going to get 1 pouch of cheesy macaroni, which is 4 servings, 1 pouch of teriyaki rice, 4 servings, 1 pouch of hearty tortilla soup, and 2 pouches of crunchy granola, which are 8 servings, along with 1 pouch of whey milk, kind of dehydrated milk. I'm going to open up the box and show you what it looks like inside. All right, so each one does have its own preparation instructions, but one of the nice things of his is they give you this whole little list here on how to cook it all. So you have it all on one sheet or each individual bag. These bags have a 25-year shelf life. Okay, here's your tortilla soup. By the way, ReadyWise's tortilla soup is really good. I had it. It's actually pretty darn good. I didn't think I'd like it because that's not something I normally gravitate to. So, actually, pretty darn good. So here you go. Now, I know people say, well, that's not 4 meals. That's not 4 servings. Trust me, when you hydrate this stuff and cook it, you will get 4 servings out of it. This is enormous. These bags look kind of small, but once you hydrate the stuff and actually cook it, you're like, oh, I can't finish that whole bag. No way. So they do work pretty well. Even if it's just a couple of days worth of food. Think about something like this, saving your butt, you know, in a short-term disaster. Again, not a primary prep. I'd probably start buying canned goods, you know, and things like that from the store. But definitely a nice thing to get. I mean, I'm not complaining about getting it. You know, I love the fact that you can grab a couple extra handy little side-type preparedness things. Also, too, think about, you know, your family shows up. You've been telling them for years to prepare. Well, they didn't prepare, but they did remember you did. So they show up and say, hey, we have nothing. What can you give us? There you go. You know, you got something. Same with friends, neighbors, whatever. So it is kind of handy. We probably will try out the cheesy macaroni because I like trying all the different types. Not going to do that today, but we will give it a test in the future. And I'm pretty pleased with the whole thing. So all in all, pretty cool item. Let's move on to the next item. It's a little bit big on the table here, so I'm going to bring it out and we'll show you that. All right, had to move the box away because I actually want to show you this. This is the Eton FRX3 multi-powered weather alert radio. About a $59 value, which is pretty much in tune with what I've seen on Amazon on these. Eton radios are very, very nice. They're actually very well made, and they will run a little bit more. So let's take a look at it out of the box. I've already put the batteries in. I'll explain that to you in a sec. It comes with the battery unplugged in the back. It is an 18650 battery. Here's your user guide, your charger, which I am going to have to charge it up because I had it plugged in all last night. I was playing with it all last night. Amazing how well it goes back in the box. Now, all right, so the time isn't right. I have to set the time too. But a really nice screen, really nice radio. It's a little bit thinner than the other Eton radios I've seen of this style. Your battery is back here. See? It's just an 18650 you have to plug in. You got your antenna nice and neat there. You have all your chargers and ports here. You can charge your cell phone off of it. You have your auxiliary ports and headphones. And you have your charger for the unit itself. It does use the older style USB plug, so make sure you have a few of those. I think after what I've been doing here on YouTube for years, I have so many charger cords, it's ridiculous. Anyway, you have your AM, FM, and you can move this way. And your weather bands. Let's see if I can pull in a weather band. Let me put the antenna up. Our weather bands out here can be kind of hard to find. All right. There we go. That's very handy to have. I like that. Having the ability to have weather band to go there. FM, we'll let you listen really quick. And again, I put it on NPR. Sorry about that. But it's the only channel I know that doesn't have music.
So just to see him smile and know.
So it definitely has decent reception. Again, our problem with AM out here is we really don't have any AM stations anymore. We used to be able to get 720 KDWN out of Vegas, but they reduced their power at the beginning of last year, and you can't even hear them. Plus, in the studio lights here, you won't get much out of it anyway. But definitely a cool little rig. Definitely neat, nice, well made. The charging handle, fairly simple to charge, and you can see. I don't know if you can see the battery from me bouncing it around here, but the battery is moving up and down, you know, showing a charging motion. See how it goes like that? You do have your solar panel up top here. Solar panels this small for units like this, I consider good to keep them topped off. They're definitely not going to be, perfect for long-term charging from a dead battery. You do have a mute on and off button here. You have a cell phone charger. So that will charge up your cell phone. You can turn that off. You can turn on your weather alert. Once you set your station, you'll have that weather alert on, okay? And you will be able to, it will come on automatically when your local station has an alert. There are no same codes. You don't need any of that stuff. You don't have to program in all these fancy codes. It just works like that. You do have an alarm, and you have an up and down button for when you're tuning. And your alarm's set for 12:01 a.m. We're going to have to change that. But all in all, I like the radio. It's a nice little radio. It seems to be very well made. You do have a light on the side. You have a flashing red or the white. Again, just enough to get you some light to find what you need to find. The idea behind it isn't to give you, a 1,000 lumen torch. So I really, really like it. All right, let's move on to the last item. Some people are going to like the last item. Some people are going to hate it. I think it's kind of neat, actually. So we'll check it out and bring it out here, show you what it's about. All right, this is the Pro Box Plus. This is what comes in the extra part with the Pro Box Plus. The value on it's about $119.99. Okay. This is the Fox Edge Anunnaki folder. Has a sheath. This is a big folding pocket knife and a very sturdy one as well. Interesting looking blade. Now some people are going to be like, I don't like it. Some people are going to love it. Look how the thickness of that thing. It's kind of sharp too. So there you go. I would think this would come in handy for a secondary kind of backup knife. You have nice G10 scales. D2 steel blade. Came fairly sharp actually. That's pretty impressive. Let's see how it does on this little piece of paper that came with it. Because it's in about 19 different languages. Wow, yeah, that's pretty darn sharp. So they are made in Morgan, Utah, fox knives here. You have a G10 scale, so you do have a lock here. So if you want to further lock that in place, you know, you can really work on it. You do have a little choil up here to work up on things if you want to get closer and do a little more blade work on it. You got that finger choil right in there. You got nice jimping up in front here if you want to work on the front of something. Definitely a nice little knife, definitely sharp. Very nicely polished edge on it too. Kind of like that. Now to close this, you're going to, of course, unlock that, and you're going to push back here on the locking mechanism and just close the knife up. So I would think something like this would be good as an emergency backup. Maybe on a small kit, you know, that you don't want to carry a ton of stuff. This thing is fairly heavy, but definitely nice feel to it, you know. And I like the double lock there, just in case your palm swell hits that and loosens it up. You got a really nice, a nice sharp edge there that can pretty much take care of anything you need to take care of. So definitely impressed with it. One of the things I like about it the most are the finger grooves here. That just fits your fingers so nicely. So I would say that's a good backup to your main knife. You know, if something happens to your main knife, at least you have something. And all in all, pretty cool knife. So that is the whole box. Let me put everything back out here for you and show you everything, and we'll finish up. So there's everything. Battlebox Mission 82, the Pro Plus box, comes with a bunch of different gear. And like I said, the Pro Plus, the whole box, is a $282 value. And now if you're interested in getting started in receiving these, even the small ones, sometimes have some really neat stuff in it. You know, it's kind of like the relatives who knows you're into preparedness and buys you a Christmas present. Sometimes it's like, wow, how'd you know I wanted this? And sometimes it's like, oh, well, I don't really need that, you know? But I think they're fun. And if you have the disposable income and you're interested in maybe picking up a few things, like in this, I can tell you right away, I'm going to use that radio. I'm definitely going to use that knife. And I'm going to put that stuff away and maybe test some of it in the channel. But definitely cool stuff. And these are going to augment my first aid kits in my vehicle. So, you know, and the books, again, you know, I can read those, get some information out of them. So I definitely think there are cool things on occasion. Sometimes they have some really cool gear in them, and sometimes it's kind of, you know, maybe I can use this, maybe I can't. Maybe, if I don't want that knife, I can give it to a friend who's just getting started in preparation in my group and help him get started. You know what I mean? So you got that kind of handy little thing going on here, and you can exchange this stuff with friends and family and whatever. And again, too, you know, with that first aid kit, with that food kit, you know, that's a good handout. If somebody comes to you and has nothing, you know, after a disaster, you can hand them that and say, look, here's something, all right? It's not, you know, it's not going to be filet mignon and baked potatoes, but it's going to be something really good. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, the link to get the boxes is down below, battlebox.com. If you use my code, you're going to get 15% off any of the subscription products, and it is Iridium 24, not Iridium 242, Iridium 24. Glad you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to check out all our links down below. We have our freeze-dry wholesaler link, and you can save 15% on that link, and we have something really amazing coming up from freeze-dried wholesalers. No, that's not just me building some hype. We really have some cool stuff coming up out of them. We have our My Patriot Supply link. That's preparewithiridium.com, preparewithiridium.com. Lots of long-term storage bulk food there. Some amazing deals this month. Check them out. We have our Thrive Life food store as well. Down below there, you can check out the Thrive Life food. There's nothing to join. You don't have to join to order some food and try it out. You can just order it and try it out. If you find you like it, you can either become a delivery customer or a consultant and resell the stuff. It's up to you. Totally up to you. And we have our Amazon affiliate store. Don't forget to check all those links down below. Great way to support the channel. Thanks for watching, folks. Stay safe and stay prepared.